Good afternoon, guys, and happy Saturday to all of your sunshiny faces. I thought I'd share with you guys while the windows are, well, while it's still sunny outside and I still have my blinds open, that we got the windows replaced. Again, I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to tell right now with that light coming in, but I'll show you guys both of them in here. And then maybe I'll share with you guys also Jack's room. But my dad was able to get the blinds already all back and hung up and all of that stuff. They were here for a few hours today. It wasn't really that long. But they not only did that, the windows, like, replaced them, but they also put, like, the, I don't know, like the wrapping or whatever I think it's called, around both the windows. They also ended up doing our side door as well, so that they were here, like, again, doing that today. And like I said, I think they got here around 8 o'clock or so I had to be up so early. And oh my goodness, guys, I stayed up late because I knew, like, I was like, I know that I'm not gonna get up early enough to clear off everything. So I think I shared with you guys last night, like, my entire dresser was all cleared off, I had my desk all cleared off, everything like that. And then also too, like, I did the dishes because I was like, you know, again, there's gonna be people in the house, which it's funny, they actually didn't come further in the hallway because they just came in through the back door and, like, did everything they needed to in these two rooms on this end of the house. So they didn't even go into, you know, like I said, the kitchen or anything. But I was like, I'm gonna make sure I, like, get the dishes done, make sure there's not, like, stuff laying around. Obviously too, I, like, rolled up my carpet, I, like, vacuumed in here, I moved, like, my chair, like I said, I moved all the stuff around. So, like, I was up kind of late last night because I was like, I know there's no way on earth that I will get up that early enough to be able to move the stuff that I need to out of the way. So, like I said, I ended up getting up a little bit later, like, I think it was like 7 o'clock, 7:30 maybe, but I went to bed pretty late last night anyway. So, yeah, I was super tired. Actually, while they were here, I probably slept for like an hour or so out on the couch in the living room because we had all the dogs out in the living room because, like I said, they were just going in through the back door. But we, like I said, stayed with them and I took an hour nap or so, and then ended up, they were gone. I think they got here like 8 o'clock. I think they were gone by, like, I want to say maybe 1 o'clock, maybe somewhere between noon and like 2, I think, because based on what time it is now, I think that's right. But like I said, I will share with you guys the windows real quick, and it's not like it's a huge noticeable thing, but they definitely, like, it's weird. The other rooms, and maybe it's too just because I've had the blinds up in here, like, ever since I came into this room, like, I've had the blinds up the whole time, so I didn't really notice these windows quite as much. Whereas, like, in my other room, like, it feels much different to me because when, you know, Jack's current room, and because of that though, like, that room feels so much different because I'm so used to those windows. But since I've been in here, again, it's like I've had the blinds, so I haven't really noticed. But it's so nice because they're so much easier to clean. They actually open, like, the one that was over here was, like, I think pretty much broken, and the other one was either broken or the screen, I don't think the screen was broken, but I think, like, the storm was broken or something like that, because they were old windows. They were original to the house, so they had, like, the window, then they had, like, a storm window that you could also pull down or, you know, like, move up separate from the actual, like, window frame, and then they also had the screen, which was the same thing too. It wasn't like this is, like, everything is, like, the window is just one window and you just move the window up and down, and then you can also pull the windows out so that you can clean them from, like, the inside. And then you can also, it has a screen, so you can move the screen up and down again to, like, clean around in the window and everything like that. But like I said, the old windows were, like, really bad, and most of them, like, the little like, things to move the screens up and down, or the storms, they were, like, broken too. So like I said, they were really old windows. Both of my bedroom windows I could get open and closed. It was just that the I think the screen, like, the little thing that you pull to, like, open it was broken, so you'd have to, like, get something like a screwdriver in order to, like, get it to move up and down. But other than that, those windows actually opened all the way. This one was, like, it only go, like, a little bit, and then the other one, like I said, I think there was something wrong with, like, maybe the screen or something like that, or you know, whatever. But I think this one too also got stuck. Like you could get it up to a point, but then you couldn't close it again either. So it's also like terrifying to open it because you were scared that weren't gonna be able to get it closed. But like I said, they're really awesome to have because like they put caulk on so it smells a little bit right now. So I had the window open in here and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so nice, because it's also fairly nice out today. I think it was almost 50 as a high today, which is again pretty nice, but it was still, you know, like we still have the furnace kind of going, but it's still, again, compared to like other days, it's been pretty nice. And it's nice to actually have the windows open and be able to open the windows like fully if you wanted to, again, on those spring and fall days when it's much cooler. It's like really nice to have the windows open. So like I said, I'm happy with them. They're like really nice. You know, again, I guess anything's nicer than broken windows, but they, you know, like they fit the space really well. And like they're so clean too. Like the other ones were all like they had paint on them and stuff like that too. Not even from when I painted, it was like from when my parents painted the room way before that. There might have even been paint on it too from when like the owners before them painted the room. Like they didn't like tape them off properly and stuff like that. So there was like paint like on the window, like, you know, the actual glass and stuff like that. I was like, these are so much nicer. Like you can see through them, which is nice without like being like, oh my gosh, okay, you gotta like try and look through like, you know, the paint and everything like that that's on there. So these are them. This is my view looking into the backyard right now, but like I said, we already have, I should have probably shared with you guys before my dad put the blinds up, because it like you don't necessarily notice it all of that much, like that the windows look different. But again, they, you know, it's a much cleaner look also too, because the thing was, I didn't paint the window frames because at the time that we were painting in here, we already knew that we were getting these replaced. So like the actual like frame and stuff like that was like clearly different than like this. Like it was a much dingier like paint and, you know, dingier like, you know, just look to them compared to like the trim that was just painted. It looks a lot like cleaner and nicer also. So you guys can see that my salt lamp is giving off really weird vibes, or the sunset or whatever it is over here. But like I said, they look way nicer than they did before. And this is the other window over here. Maybe it's not even the salt lamp that was doing that. Maybe it's just like the camera like adjusting to the lighting in here, but it's making it look like yellowy kind of, or like orangey sort of. Like if I put my hand in here, you guys saw it kind of like brightened up a little bit. But no, like this is like white like paint. It looks more like yellowy kind of. And even the windows too. But these were the other ones over here. This overlooks like over at our neighbor's house. I don't have much of a view. And the other thing I don't like, and the reason that Charlie's laying in bed, the other reason why I don't necessarily like the placement of my bed though here is that I can't look out of a window. Like in my old room where my bed was, I could see right out the window. Like I could see stuff that was going on. Like I don't have access really to like the outdoors when I'm like sitting, you know. And the windows too, you guys can see like they're high up windows, so it's really hard to like, even to when I'm just like standing here, like, just see like the deck roof and the neighbor's roof and the gazebo roof and stuff like that, the garage roof. So like I can't really like see into the yard. Like, you know, I have to be standing right up next to it because they're not low, like they're very high up windows. So it just kind of, you know, like I don't have a great view out of in my bedroom really anyway. And if I'm sitting at my desk, it's the same thing. Like I'm not looking out the window either. So that's why I feel like, again, too, being in this room for the short amount of time that I've been in here, I haven't really noticed the windows that much, but they do look really nice compared to how they looked before. It was just that, like I said, it's not something that like strikes me as being like, oh my goodness, there's new windows. Now they look amazing from the outside because, like I said, they did all of that, like the framing type stuff outside. So it looks so nice and so clean and so different compared to how it looks, you know, looked before. Because it was like a metal, you know, like a like gray metal out from the outside, because that was like what the track was made out of. So compared to it now, like being all nice and white, like it matches the other windows that we have, because all of the other ones we got replaced already. Because we were doing everything kind of in like chunks. But the other windows we had all replaced, and again too, it looks so nice because they did all of that trim and like everything like that. Or, you know, like I said, I forgot what it was called already, but the like the dressing, or I don't know, anyways, whatever it's called, like the, you know, stuff from the outside looks really nice, because like I said, it looked like it was just an ugly gray that was, you know, like gray metal that was outside, and now they all match the other windows. So these were the last ones in the entire house that needed to be replaced. All of our other windows have been replaced. Even the back sliding door was also replaced. The only thing that's not is the attic window was never replaced, and the like the front door was never replaced, which we don't really know that we need to replace it, and the side door also was never replaced. But other than that, like all of the I guess exterior sort of like, you know, exits have been replaced in the whole house. So, and again, I don't even know that my parents are planning on like replacing the front door or anything. I think they were talking about the side door because it might need to be replaced, like not need to be replaced, but it just, like, the front door looks nice, the side door doesn't look quite as nice, but it looks a lot nicer now because they did that framing work on there. Jack actually has his windows open in here. He's got the blinds partially open on one and closed on the other, but like these are the ones in here. And again, you guys can kind of like, again, I noticed this way more like when he had, you know, when these ones were replaced, just because I would sit on the opposite side of these, which is where my bed was, and like look out these windows, and it was, like I said, so like I noticed them so much. It was like, you know, again, if I was like looking at the TV, like I'd look back and look at these windows, and I didn't, you know, like, so they were something that I saw a lot, so I just have noticed them a lot more. I was like, oh my goodness, they look so nice, they look so different, just because I've been in here for so long, like 10 years or so. So that's why, like, not being in the other room for very long, it wasn't something that like I noticed that much. Well guys, I actually did end up taking some pictures, so I will, or have already included them. But yeah, that was everything they ended up getting done for today, which, like I said, was really nice, and it didn't take that long either too, which was also really nice. And again, I like afterwards too, after they put them in, I cleaned everything because like it was kind of dusty still. Like, you know, they can't kind of like cleaned everything up, but like there's still, like, I vacuumed again and like, you know, washed off actually too, because I had pretty much almost everything cleared off my desk and like off my dresser, so I like wiped everything down anyway, because I've been like dusting pretty consistently. But I was like, you know what, I'll just take like a wet, you know, like a rag and just kind of like wipe everything down. So I ended up doing that also, and then again too, just kind of got everything set back up and put everything back away. And yeah, now I think we're gonna get dinner, but I will most likely have a jewel haul for you guys tomorrow. But I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.